Alright, so if you're watching this video series, we're on the last page, hallelujah, of the DCA 1 test review. So I'm doing the last 5 problems. These are probably 5 of the easiest. So we definitely should be fine on this page. Most of them you can put in Desmos, and then 17 and 18, you're literally just reading the scenarios and picking the one that works. So this page should go by rather quickly. So if you've been watching the videos, hang tight because we're almost done, okay? For number 16, says determine the slope, x-intercept, and y-intercept of the equation of the line, and it gives us this equation. Now, if you're using a graphing calculator, like you guys used in middle school, this is the bad part about graphing calculators. When you want to graph a line, do y'all see this y equals button? You can only type it in if you've solved for y. So for this one, most of us would be like, okay, I got to get y by itself by hand. You can do that. I will show you how to do that really quickly if you would like to do it by hand, but I think most of us are going to like to do it the other way I'll show you. So if you get it by hand, you would cover your y, subtract the 6x, those would cancel, and then you'd have negative 3y equals negative 6x plus 12. Okay, then you would divide by negative 3. And you would get y equals 2x minus 4. So you can definitely do that, and you can go graph this by hand if you want to. But what I would do in Desmos is type it in just like that. So check this out. This is in standard form, but in Desmos will figure out the graph of the line even in standard form. So 6x minus 3y equals 12. And check it out. It graphed that line perfectly for us, okay? So I'm looking at this line, and from that line, I want to find the slope, the x-intercept, and the y-intercept, okay? So let's go look at this line. From this line, the first two things I see are the x-intercept where it touches x, and the y-intercept where it touches y, because it already gives you those 2 points, okay? So the x-intercept where it crosses x is at the point 2, 0. And the y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis is at 0, negative 4. So I'm going to go write that down on my paper. The x-intercept was 2, 0, and the y-intercept was 0, negative 4. So if you go look at your answer choices, there's only 2 that have 2, 0, and 0, negative 4. So it's A or B. So I'm going to mark out C or D. Okay, so now let's go back to our graph. We need to figure out if it's A, where the slope is 2, or if it's B, where the slope is 1/2. So let's go back and look at this graph. From a graph, we find the slope by doing the rate of change, okay? So, just a reminder, we're trying to find the slope. That's the rise over the run. So from my graph, I'm going to start at my bottom base point. I'm going to count how many spaces I rise and do how many spaces I run. And then I'm going to do the rise divided by the run. Okay? So let's look at the graph. If we start here, we go up 1 space, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So my rise is 4. And then I'm sitting right here because I just rose 1, 2, 3, 4. And my run is right 2. So up 4, right 2. If you do 4 divided by 2, you're going to get 2 for the slope. So the answer for 16 should be A. Alright, so let's look at 17. The number of people who attend an ECU bowl game depends on the price. So does everybody see that? So the number of people, let me use a different color. The number of people is the N. So this N is the people. Okay. And the admission price is the P. So that's the price. Alright, so it says which is the correct interpretation of the slope. So if we look at the equation they gave us, hopefully you guys remember that the slope is always the number attached to the x or the independent variable. So look at your equation. The number that's attached to the p, which is like my x here, because it's the independent, because it says n depends on p, is negative 70. Okay? So the first thing I notice is one of these answer choices isn't even talking about the 70. It's talking about 1500. 1500 is not the slope. So you should be able to mark out 1500. Okay? Now, this 70 says down 70. So does that mean 70 people attend if it's free? No, that has nothing to do with it going down by 70. So it's not going to be A. If you look at C, 70 more people will attend. Okay? 70 more people means that the number of people is going up. If this says minus 70, it shouldn't be going up. It should be going down. So let's look at D. 70 fewer people, which means 70 less. So 70 people are going down. For every dollar, the admission price goes up. So it does look like it's going to be D because this is a negative 7. All right, so that was fast. Told y'all 17 would be fast. 18 is the same because it's just another situation we have to read. So which situation could be correctly summarized by this equation? So we're looking at this equation. 7 is the slope. So that's what it's going up by each time. And notice I said going up because that 7 is positive. And then the 10 in this equation is the base, which is the y-intercept. And the base is always where we start a line, right? All right, so let's go look at this. Jaden rents a car for 7 hours. The rental is $10 per hour. That's like $10 each hour, okay? The slope is what happens each time. My slope is 7, not 10. So it cannot be A. Okay? Let's check out B. David rents a vacuum for a swimming pool. The rental is $15 for insurance plus an additional 7 each hour. Okay. Do y'all even see a 15 in our equation? No, then it's not going to be B. All right. Let's look at C. Kiera starts out with $10. Okay, so the start is 10. That matches our equation. That looks good. And continues to save $7 each week. So each time she's saving $7. That matches too. Okay. But let's go read this last part. The equation shows her total money saved, Y, which makes sense. But then it says that the X, I'm going to use a different color. The X is months. What does this equation say? That it should be $7 each week. So it can't be, shouldn't be C either. Uh-oh, we might have found a typo. Let's skip to D real quick. Sydney measures the temperature of her straightener. It starts out at 7. Okay, so they're saying the start is 7. Is 7 the start for this equation? No, the start is 10. So actually it should be C. We made a typo. X should be in weeks because this says $7 each week. Whew, okay, that one was tricky. It definitely is C though because it says the start is 10, which matches our equation, and then it's $7 each week, and our slope is going up by 7 each time, so it should be C. Sorry about that, y'all. I hope we're just learning from this that Miss Poole and the other math teachers, we make